You kick down the last of the barricades to find a dozen or so remaining villagers huddled together. Some have bows but no arrows. The others thrown their blades to the ground. A man steps forward. I'm Frederick, the oldest of us. He says, we've been fighting off all types from Olmstor for 2 weeks now. We're trying to protect what's ours. He looks back at his people and says, you won't find us begging for our lives. Folka pulls you aside and says, they know how to fight, so we'd be stronger if they joined us. You pull at your beard. Or I can make them gather food for us, you say. They could just turn around and kill us. We're not going to kill you, but we'll take what we need. We don't have any clansmen. Let's get them to gather food for us. Coming with us, without your blades and bows. Then what, be your fond slaves? Frederick turns to his people. Is that how we remember? They all shout, never, and attempt to grab their blades. But you and the ravens cut them all down with practice ease. I should have known that wasn't really an option, Folka says, and walks off to look around. There you go. Spar, an old wanderer who joined the ravens over half a century ago, points at the tents on the edge of the village. Looks like the merchants are still here. Maybe they were being forced to stick around. Okay. We have 2 level 10 items. Strav's Bond is a good one too. +2 range distance, +2 break talents, or for the exact same price, +2 break talents, +2 range distance, and +2 armor. They are essentially the same item. This one has more armor as a bonus. They're the same price. This would be really good on Ollie. Gold Brittle. +3 all talent ranks, +1 strength attack, +1 break. +1 break. So the difference between +1 strength attack and +1 strength is basically, even if you have, say, 1 health, you can still do 2 damage with a +1 strength attack. Because it just adds 1 to your strength. So if you're 13 health, it'll hit for 14. +3 to all talent ranks, 20% chance to crit. I actually think we're just going to pass it up. Just grab one of those to give us an extra day. Let's take a look at our heroes. Injured for 5. Actually, we're going to hit the road. Every time our morale drops, we're going to rest. And hopefully, by the time we get into our next fight, our guys will be healed. I noticed the others aren't so good at spotting food, Ollie slurs. It's a good thing I spent some time with that Trigby fellow. Taught me what's what. But I nearly killed myself on those agar bushes over there, trying to get these. He steps aside to reveal a large basket full of mushrooms. We look at Folka, who shrugs. We need food, she says. Sure, are these okay to eat? Fine, put them in the cart. Sure. Ollie stumbles a bit while hoisting the basket up into the cart and grabs another mushroom for his efforts. Others clap him on the back to show their appreciation.
Wouldn't mind seeing Irynx fly. If only once more.
Remember the last time we saw this foul, eh? Blood axe. Think the ghost of this dead bird has forgiven you for that wing yet? Spar asks. The other ravens, including Folka, look at the broken stone. To you in shock. Aye, the old man says. We were here nearly 40 years ago. Same spot as now. Only a dozen of us left to the unkindness then. Better men by twice than all you. He's rumbling, but the ravens keep listening. We'd run a job for a man. Fef or Finner. Finer, more like. He says, spitting at the memory. He sets us up to take the fall for some of his other deals gone bad. We got surrounded here, and this bear of a Varl loses his mind, grabs a tree, a whole tree, and starts swinging. Spar starts coughing, but recovers. Nearly killed us all, but old Irynx took a hit like no other. And there you have it. The excited ravens start asking you questions, but Spar is all too happy to answer. You can study the bird-shaped stone, inspect the damage you once caused, or tell him to shed it. Let's see what we did. Others leave you alone as you near the giant stone, placing a hand on the broken wing. It was an accident, you know that? Shame and rage enter you in equal parts, along with memories of Irynx in flight. You're the one who died, leaving nothing but this rock, you say, stomping the ground. A layer of ice shatters underfoot along with a wooden box, probably left as some token of faith to a dead god. Leaving anything behind for the dead is a waste, you say, immediately prying open the box and pocketing the small item within. So, take a look and see what that is. So, the pipe plant. You can't help but feel calm by the spreading life in this bowl of this broken pipe. 3 will on rest, 1 armor on rest, 1 will. Not horrible. No one's level 6, so it doesn't really matter right now. Plenty of injuries though. Let's rest up. Let's see what the training guy has for us. Let's see if you know what to do with that ugly drunk and the old man, Halfie says. Ollie, Spar, get in here, or I'll have you cleaning your own blood off my axe. Let's see if you know what to do with that ugly drunk. Oh, wow. You consider what he's saying. You feel up to the challenge? Let's get it done. Okay. Axe Storm 3 hits. Insult Bulwark. Okay. And prevent him from taking a turn. Interesting. So if we can get him down to 6 armor, and get a triple hit with Ollie, we'll be in a good spot. So, we're gonna need you to insult this guy. Move him up manually, start doing the armor break ourselves. Just gonna insult him one more time. Push him back to the end of the turn order. The thing with Axe Storm is it doesn't actually matter. Like strength and armor doesn't come into play, so we just kind of gotta throw until we get lucky. There we go. 3 hits, just like that. Assault it one more time, keep it to the back. So we got a crit in there. And there we go. Okay, so now we have a bunch more renown. Still pretty low here. Let's promote Ollie up. Get him some extra strength. Oops. We can promote her to get her second ability now. It's called Shield Smash, basically. You deal your shield break damage to the enemy in front of you, and every single adjacent unit, friend or foe, takes the exact same break damage from that attack, and then she loses her passive ability. So you kind of got to time it right. It does not get rid of your armor though. Thank God, or else it'd be really tough to use. And let's just see, 4 days. Give him another day's rest. And another one. Cold creeps under cloaks and forces the ravens to huddle together as wind whips around you. Snow begins to blot out the Wormscow Mountains in the distance, and you're forced to call an early camp. Rising from your sleep, you begin pacing, occasionally drumming your fingers on the top of the large cart. A motion in camp draws your attention. Walking towards it, you hear groans and see Falca's shield rising, falling erratically among some furs. Humans, you snort, but the shield flips away, revealing a dredge grunt staring up at you. Stepping back, you bump into another dredge. Looking around, the entire raven camp is a swarm of stone-armored bodies, desperately reaching for you. When your axes lash out through nothing, you realize you were dreaming. An unexpected sadness swells in you, like you've let everyone down. A few of your ravens are watching you, smirking, but your growl makes them look away. You decide to walk the perimeter alone, while everyone else slowly awakens. I think we're out of training now. And we still have... We're still injured for 2. I wonder if the +1 armor can go over your maximum. Alright, let's hit the road. Around you hear you yelling. A harsh voice reaches your ears, followed by the laughter of several others. Your abrupt halt alerts Folka, who immediately signals the Raven to fan out and draw their weapons. Investigate. Over the next rise, a group of 10 haggard fighters and a few varls surround half a dozen peasants and a broken wagon. A woman spots you and shouts, "Help us," but a punch to the stomach drops her to the snow. The fighter turns, ready to fight. "We're not interested in anything here." The man who threw the punch says, "Well, maybe we're interested in what you're carrying." You begin growling, and the ravens take that as a sign to charge. The man's confidence melts away, and he and all his fighters flee from your assault. You give chase for a time, but soon return to the wagons and peasants. "Thank you," the woman who was punched earlier says. "I'm Sepha. I know you don't want us around, but if you're heading to Bindal, we'll follow your path. Keep your food in your distance, understood?" "Of course, we'll be well behind you, but behind you all the same," Sepha says. "Thank you." A couple of Raven scouts take off to check out the cluster of tents ahead. "Refugees from Ormsdaw," one of them says upon returning. "They've got a sizable camp and seem disciplined. They know we're here," the scout adds. No sense of trying to avoid them. You take the lead and approach the refugees. A hooded man with a red spear greets you. "My name's Bach, and this is Loth. You're Bulwark of the Ravens, and is this your wife?" You are confused as much by his question as by the fact that no one is with the man. Who is Lothan?" He moves his spear forward a foot. "Lothan, my advisor of sorts." You look at Volka and snort. You're the second spearman we've met who is more than a little touched. The man stares at Volka, a dangerous look on his face. "If you're finished having your laugh, I'll tell you why I've come to you." "Fine, but make it quick." "I'm leading this large group of trained fighters and tradesmen from Ormsdaw. We're looking for a new home. We've done what it takes to survive out here, but they're starting to lose faith in me." "You want us to reinforce your control?" "No, I want you to take over. Lead us someplace where we can live. Loth and I weren't meant for keeping others alive." "What do I get in return?" "For one, we won't kill you." Bach smiles, but there's no humor in his eyes. "We'll share the food we've collected and fight alongside you, should there be need." He stops and confers with his spirit. "Spoiling you, Lothan is. We'll even spread the word of how great the Ravens are." "We'll take you as far as Bindal." Bach kisses the metal of his spear and smiles. "You have my thanks. Oh, Lothan thanks you as well." "Perfect. Another crazy dude." So let's take a look here. See if that injury is gone. So we still have 2 days of injuries. We're going to rest for one of them. The unyielding snowfall is proving too much for the humans, who now vainly attempt to follow your large footprints. In truth, the sky and your surroundings lack enough contrast to know where you're going, and it's cold. "Trees over here," Volka manages to say, motioning with her spear. The foliage blocks some of the wind, but does nothing for visibility. With no other options, you burrow into the snow, cloaked in your bear fur.
Darkness. Lightning. Someone pulling in the energy. Painful.
"Burke, wake up, you damn bear. You're being robbed." You roar and shake off the foot of snow covering you. The unclear dream still vivid in your mind. Bach uses his spear to point east. "Those clansmen you saved, they killed your guards and they're taking everything." Folk was by your sides within seconds, followed by the spearmen. You sprint along the snowy path with the stolen supplies straight into an ambush by the bandits originally harassing the clansmen. Sepha turns and smirks.